First of all, just a couple of comments. There are probably 10 people on this committee who have more conversations with 10, 15 people on this committee who have more conversations with Donald Trump than myself. But anybody who says that Donald Trump thought he won that election, that is just plain not true. No way, unless he's the best actor in the history of this building.
We agree.
Did Donald Trump believe?
Order.
That Donald Trump did not believe. Donald Trump did not believe he lost that election. He just didn't. No way. And I think on January 6th, I can't believe there were any congressmen here who didn't think Joe Biden was going to be sworn in as president. So it was a riot, but it wasn't a threat to the future of the republic. Okay. Now we should have posted up here a document for you to look at. Here we are. Okay. This is something we received with regard to Arctic frost. It's a list of about 70 names. I don't know whether or not you're familiar with the document.
I don't believe I'm familiar with this document.
Okay. The document contains just about every person who was higher up in the Donald Trump campaign. There's a little more emphasis on here on people involved in Wisconsin, but you're not familiar with the document.
I'm sorry, sir, what was your question?
Would you know what was in this document? These names, you familiar with them at all? They're under the impression that most of these people, maybe almost all of them, were subpoenaed by you at some time or other. That helps you.
Some of these names I am familiar with. Others I'm not familiar with, or I don't recall as I sit here now.
Okay. We'll eventually submit another question for you on this later on. From the time you were appointed as special counsel to your resignation in January 2025, did you ever have contact with the January 6th Select Committee?
I did not personally. When I became special counsel, I directed my deputy to ask the Select Committee to provide us whatever evidence they would provide us.
So you directed people to have direct contact?
I directed my deputy to make contact to collect evidence from them.
And that's J.P. Cooney?
J.P. Cooney, my deputy, correct.
Okay. Did you have any concern that the evidence collected by the Partisan Select Committee would be in any way tainted by politics?
I apologize, sir. I just couldn't hear you because of the door.
I'm sorry, we had people going through here. Did you have any concern that the evidence collected by the Partisan Select Committee would be in any way tainted by politics?
I intended to conduct an independent investigation, and my goal was to collect the evidence, assess it, and consider it with all the other evidence we would collect and make an independent determination in my investigation separate from that investigation.
I'm going to go back and ask you something on that one before, because I think I know the answer. There's a person on that list by the name of Vicki McKenna who we believe did have her records subpoenaed. Are you familiar with that name at all?
As I sit here right now, I am not familiar with that name.
Okay, thank you. With regard to part of the documents that you received was with regard to Cassidy Hutchison, right?
We requested that they give us everything they were willing to give us. As I sit here now, I don't recall if specifically her information was in there, but I'm not denying that it was. It may well have been.
Okay. We'll go back. Your team issued subpoenas to various financial institutions, telecommunications providers, and conservative entities requesting communications between them and President Trump's campaign, right?
We did issue subpoenas for various sorts of information, correct.
Okay. And the bank records, you would say, or we could describe, were fairly broad, the request?
We issued subpoenas for certain bank records as part of our investigation, yes.
Okay. Shortly after you're appointed, you issued subpoenas to state and local officials for their communications with President Trump. Is that correct? And his campaign.
As I sit here now, I'm trying to recall specifically which officials, but I know we issued a number of subpoenas in our investigation to understand the communications between President Trump and various entities, including state officials.
One final question.
One quick final question.
Yeah. Do you really believe that President Trump thinks he lost that election?
Yes. Our investigation following the facts and the law
Okay.
determined that...
No way. Thank you. That's enough.
Wait just a second. We have one more thing to share.
We want to say a heartfelt thank you for watching and supporting PBS News.
Without you, we simply wouldn't be able to provide the news and the information that you trust.
So thank you from everybody here at PBS News.
Support journalism you trust. Support PBS News. Donate now, or even better, start a monthly contribution today.